Sa country ko.
Okay, yan na.
Yes.
Good evening, partner.
Good
Magandang
evening,
gabi.
partner.
Ano ba ang
Kamusta ka na?
balik? Kamusta? Hindi, yun nga eh. Bago ako, kayo muna dyan sa Malaysia para unahin natin yung good news.
Yung good news muna. Ayun, towards the end na kami nung tail end na nung second surge. Kasi as I shared before nung mga past episodes natin, nagkaroon ng lockdown, nagkaroon ng yung second wave. Pero now, everything is pretty much back to normal except yung interstate travel. And vaccinations are on the way. So, malapit na matapos yung frontliners. Susunod na yung elderly.
So, frontliners, matatapos na, elderly na.
Elderly, kasi ang priority is elderly with comorbidities. Yung mga may chronic illnesses. Kasi high risk yun.
So, inuuna yung mga, okay, that's good news, ano?
Yes.
Dito naman sa amin, parang nahuli kami dun sa nangyari dyan sa inyo. Ngayon naman nagkakaroon ng, as you know, meron kaming tinatawag ngayon na bubble. No? Yan ang mga bagong terminolohiya ngayon. May bubble kami na yung NCR Plus na tinatawag, no? Which is Metro Manila, Cavite, Bulacan, Laguna, Rizal, yan ang NCR Plus. So nire-restrict yung paglabas dyan at pagpasok dyan sa area na tinatawag na nasa bubble. Hindi siya kasing higpit nung katulad ng dating na kailangan ng mga quarantine pass. But like sa restaurants, no, which is relevant to our show, sarado uli ang dine-in, no? Unless meron kang al fresco. So, in fairness sa mall, no, nakakatuwa din, yung Sunday ng gabi, mabilis umaksyon. No? Unang-una, nagbigay sila uli ng rental concession. No? Doon sa period na, that's good, no? I mean, yung mga, syempre, yung mga restaurant owners, nakahinga ng maluwag yung may concession. That's one less thing to worry about, diba? And yun nga, and then they became creative, no? In fact, na-feature sa TV Patrol yung ginawa ng Galleria, Robinson's Galleria na, yung mga driveways, ginawang alfresco dining. No? And ang daming tao nga, no, na kumakain nga. Kasi people are, were in the malls buying the essentials. Ang naiwang bukas, syempre, essentials, no?
Yes.
And again, no, naiwan din ng restaurant. Ibig sabihin, essential service talaga ang restaurant. Drugstores, supermarkets, and all things na pinibila ng mga essential needs. No? And syempre, pag namimili yun, kailangan meron ding makakainan. Kasi hindi naman lahat pwedeng magtiis ng gutom hanggang sa bahay. So kami naman sa restaurant industry, of course, we would like to, again, no, to just serve the people, whatever it is, kung anong queue ang meron. Kung kami bukas, no, susubukan namin manatiling bukas. Yan ang sitwasyon dito. No? Mga record-breaking. No? Mga record-breaking numbers. Pero ako, I mean, of course, everyone's just, I would like to focus on the vaccines. No?
Yes.
And I think yung, in a way, in looking at it positively, pag mataas yung numero, mas nag-iingat yung tao. No? Take accountability na lahat tayo nag-relax talaga. No, na tuwa tayo masyado sa balita ng bakuna, no? And hindi natin naintindihan na yung bakuna kailangan maisaksak muna bago tanggalin yung mask.
Hindi siya airborne, hindi siya yung pag dumating na.
Parang nasa balita na, okay na tayo.
Okay na.
Okay, we take accountability as a country and together we will emerge from this with our wings up, sabi nga, di ba?
Yes.
So balikan natin yung last episode, nag-enjoy ka doon eh.
Oo, sobrang nag-enjoy doon kasi it's a good refreshing reprieve from all the discussions on brand as well kasi napaka-inspiring nung story and especially yung mga people behind it, the leaders behind the story. So first of our takeaways, yung first line natin is yung let your purpose drive you, yung create the life you want with the purpose and priorities you've defined and focus on your happiness.
Parang pampelikula no? Sabi niya,
diba?
One day sinabi niya ayoko na. Sa Maynila, ayoko na sa Maynila, dito na ako sa La Union. Happiness ang aking number one objective.
Diba? Follow your bliss at for real.
Pero siya, no, hindi siya yung tipong nagpabaya after the decision. Nakita mo talaga, no, nag-struggle, no, he faced the challenges, nag-aral sa sarili niyang pamamaraan, nag-trial and error. Pero matinding determinasyon kasi nga sobrang solid ng purpose niya.
Yes. That's true. And then yung very much nakatuhog with it is yung let your values guide you. So humans first, make an income while creating an impact.
Creating an impact. Sabi nga nila, 'di ba, no, yung income is secondary. Parang ang inuna talaga yung yung purpose. Inuna talaga yung purpose. So, and I think very consistent yung dalawang bisita natin, si Zark at saka si Kido, when they said na the profit will come, no? I-set up mo muna ng maigi yung purpose ng company, yung vision, yung values, 'di ba? And yung may mga may mga non-compromise items.
Yes.
Hindi pwedeng suwayin, 'di ba? Hindi pwedeng suwayin. No, pagka hindi na masaya, teka, tingnan muna natin. Meron na tayong nilalabag na purpose ng kumpanya. Yeah.
And then nakakatuwa kasi ever since our episode, I've been following their socials, and talagang makikita mong they're staying true to the brand, which brings to the point, third point, yung brand story should be true. Authenticity can be felt. So na-redefine yung 4 P's of marketing. Naging na siya, purpose, positioning, partnership, and personalization.
Tama. Unahin ko muna yung authenticity kasi hindi mo naman pwedeng pikiin yung ganun eh. Hindi mo pwedeng i-fake, no? It's not malalaman at mararamdaman ng unang-una ng mga empleyado. Diba? And it will manifest sa mga empleyado at mararamdaman ng mga customers. So sa kanila, very tama ka, yung napaka-apt nung inintroduce mo na concept. And even sila, humingi nga sila ng copy after the episode, no? Yung 4 na piece na dapat nating tandaan. So yan, napakagandang episode. Yung mga hindi po nakapanood, pwede niyo po yung balikan. No? You can actually watch the replay on both YouTube and Facebook, of course, ng The Resto Coach. At ngayong gabi, syempre, no, may mga balik guest tayo. Kaya, at nagdagdala pa ng rest pack. No?
I know.
At ang dinala nilang rest pack, yung boss pa nila. No?
I know, di ba? Bring in the big guns eh.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, itong mga chef natin na kaibigan, of course, una na kita sa pag-introduce sa mga kaibigan natin, si Chef Ken Cacho, no? Country Executive Chef. At of course, si Yorme. Bago pa nauso yung mga Yorme na yan. Ito yung talagang mayor namin sa Outback Malate nung araw. No? Si Chef Brando, no? Senior sous chef ng GMA and Luzon. And ganito gagawin natin. Dahil sila nagdala ng rest box, sila mag-i-introduce sa boss nila.
Oo, magandang idea yun.
Chef Ken, sino ba yung dala-dala yung rest box?
Before anything, good evening to everyone. Maraming salamat again for inviting us. Ngayon, para mas masaya, dala namin boss namin, di ba? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. VJ Carion, the Managing Director of Unilever Food Solutions for Philippines and Vietnam.
Ayan, Philippines and Vietnam.
Thank you, Chef Ken. And of course, thank you, Coach Romel and partner Cheryl for inviting us. It's a pleasure and always an honor to be part of your show, which has really, now it's larger than life. Kasi like what you mentioned from the previous episode, you talked about purpose, authenticity, and what more purpose, how more authentic can you be with, the Resto Coach, putting aside competition, putting aside, individual gains, but, having this real desire to help the food service family in the Philippines. So again, congratulations sa inyo, Coach Romel and partner Cheryl.
Nako, wala yun, boss. Yung mga taong katulad nyo, it makes this show possible because syempre kung hindi naman papayag yung mga bisita na mag-guest dito, no? Syempre yung mga iba naming guest na kami mismo na amaze kami, like si Mayor Rex nag-guest din dito, no? Bago pa sa sumikat dun sa NLEX na yun, ano? And I think it's about just to share with you yung alignment. Bago kami mag-guest, tinitingnan namin na align. And of course, tayo naman Unilever Food Solutions, saka ako po nung nagsisimula pa lang akong mag-guest sa mga conventions and conferences, I think naramdaman natin na align talaga. In fact, ang totoong storya nito, Boss BJ, hindi ko nakwento ko na, uulitin ko na lang. But gusto ko talaga kinikwento to. Nakatadhana talaga to. Kasi nasa lobby ako ng hotel sa Dubai. No? Sinama ako ni Zark dun sa Dubai na Global Restaurant Leadership Conference. Of course, malaking bahagi parati ang ginagampanan ng UFS dyan eh. Global, nandun yung mga global bosses nyo, no? Sa Dubai, nasa lobby ako ng hotel at tinitingnan ko yung mga unang post namin sa The Resto Coach. Nung bata-bata pa yung Resto Coach nun. Wala pa kami mga gantong show, no? Mga pa-post-post pa lang kami. I think yung sinisimulan pa lang namin yung kay Anthony Santay. And ang tumabi sa akin ay si Miss Peachy at si Nilip na may inabangan din yata siyang service, no? At nakita niya, sabi, ano ba yung tinitingnan mo na yan? Sabi niya sa akin. So yun ang simula ng storya ng UFS at the Resto Coach. And eto na tayo ngayon, no? Pangalawang pag-guest na ng mga chefs natin, no? Actually, pang-apat kasi 3 episode sila dati, no? And then ngayon po, nagdala sila ng rest back yung boss nila. Ano, share?
Yes.
Yan.
Okay, we can start off kasi I think very important to establish sa ating mga nanonood. Who is Unilever Food Solutions?
Okay. Sagutin ko na yan. Ako na mauna, boss.
Ayan.
Okay. Well, Unilever Food Solutions, it's a professional food service supplier. No? We carry industry-respected brands such as Knorr, Lady's Choice, Best Foods, Lipton, Carte d'Or, to name a few. We have good tried and tested products like liquid seasonings, yung mga sauce and soup bases, mayonnaise, and tea. No? We provide also solutions to make the food service industry operators build their business. Our products help grow their profits through cost-effective application of and the consistency of our products, making their dishes and menus really great, di ba? So that's yan ang gist ng Unilever Food Solutions talaga.
Nice. Thanks, Chef Ken. And just to add, I think I was really amazed with the previous episode, having Zark from Zark's Burger as a guest and talking about purpose, inspiration and making sure that all of these, even if medyo fluffy concepts, are really foundations of creating a successful brand. So sa amin naman sa UFS, yes, marami kaming produkto like Knorr, Lady's Choice. I'm sure gamit natin yan, hindi lang sa kusina, pati sa mga bahay natin. But siguro just to share, I think if there's one thing that really made me stay in the company, 15 plus years na po ako sa Unilever. Nag-start po akong ahente.
Mga 12 years old, ganon. Char.
Hindi naman po.
Parang Gidi Crew eh.
Nag-ahente po ako. Actually, yung una kong area is sa Cabanatuan. Yung mga customer ko po doon, si Luz Kitchenette, NE Bake Shop, sina Vicenticos. And I think, coming from college, and then talang sinampa ka sa malayong area, first time to be away from home. I think what really, showed me the purpose of Unilever Food Solutions, kung paano kami nakatulong talaga sa mga kusinero. Kasi naalala ko, may isang activity po kami doon sa NE Bake Shop. Nagturo po kami kung paano gumawa ng basic sandwiches gamit po ng mga produkto namin sa siguro 20 kitchen staff. And after that session, actually, nag-empake na kami ni Paulo Sia. Si Paulo Sia yung kasama ko doon. Lumapit sa amin yung isang food staff, tapos sabi niya, chef pa nga tawag sa amin noon kahit hindi ako chef. Sabi niya, Chef DJ, salamat po sa natulong niyo sa amin kasi madami po akong natutunan at gusto ko sanang magtayo din ng sarili kong restaurant. So at that point, I knew that I was in a good company, in a company that really went more than looking for profits or stood for something more than the sales. So I think, like what you said, purpose, authentic intent to really help people. If there's one thing, tanggalin na lahat ng brands namin. But yung pinaka-proud moments namin is pag nakatulong kami sa mga kusinero, sa mga back kitchen staff, or at least naka-impart kami ng helpful lessons. Especially ngayon, lahat po tayo na-impact talaga ng pandemic. So, yun po kami, Unilever Food Solutions.
If I may add lang, bago natin pasalitain si Yorme, yung binabanggit natin kada episode, na one person at a time. No? Totoo po yung ginikwento ni Mr. BJ na ako po, naranasan ko din yan. Someone will message you out of the blue and say, Coach, nakapagtayo na po ako ng sarili kong negosyo. Maraming salamat sa nabanggit yung gantong salita, gantong kataga. No? And sometimes magugulat ka. One phrase, no? Na natandaan from 10 years ago. No? And or maybe one workshop na inatinan mo na may nabanggit ka na tumama dun sa puso, natanim sa isipan at kumilos yung kamay. So I agree with you, sir. No, yung authenticity is actually measured by its impact, di ba? Yung totoong impact niya sa society. Yorme, ikaw naman.
Well, sa amin naman, no, being part of Unilever Food Solutions, it has always been a joy for us to engage with our operators. No, having seen the greater part of Visayas and Mindanao for the past 5 years, so talagang ramdam namin yung impact din nung paano kami nakakatulong. That was before, no, face to face. What more now with all the things that's been happening? So ngayon mas ramdam pa rin naman namin. Though a lot of them may be virtual, nandun pa rin yung alaga at saka yung warmth na binibigay namin sa aming operators as Unilever Food Solution. So hindi nagbago yon. Mas gumanda pa nga ngayon eh. Mas marami yung reach. So,
nice. Totoo yun. Parang parang sa mga schools, di ba, share? Meron tayong naging bisita na binabanggit din nila na actually ngayon, walang borders yung eskwelahan. No? Meaning, for example, even if you're far away from that physical campus, they're accepting you for enrollment. Na democratize at saka na liberalize yung yung konsepto ng who can enroll. Di ba? Who can enroll and who can be admitted. And that's actually, siguro pwede tayo mag-devote din ng isang episode about the education aspect, no? And we can invite the people in the academy of how it has changed yung pangyayari. And I think I have the guest in mind, but I'll tell you later on. Pero magandang matunghayan natin ano yung papel, and that's why Unilever and the rest of us is actually strengthening its partnership because naniniwala kami pareho na nang huli nga akong nagbisita doon sa event niyo, sir. Nabanggit ko na ang talagang mahalaga ngayon is yung habang nandito tayo sa pandemya, kasi yung isip ng tao may attention may focus. Balik tayo sa education. Balik tayo sa training, sa fundamentals, no? Patatagin natin yung pundasyon para pagka nag-rebound na, 'di ba? Mas malakas yung industriya sa tulong ng mga ka-collaborate natin gaya ng UFS.
Ayan. So we proceed to the main event. Okay, the main event. Kasi yung main question is yung how has the food industry changed since the pandemic? So yung ating title ng ating episode 43 yung Support, Inspire, and Progress, the top food business trends. So ano yung mga yun?
Yan. So thanks partner Cheryl, no. So ang maganda rin pala sa Unilever is since we are a global company, marami po kaming mga research teams, yung customer consumer marketing insight team. And yung mga trends na i-share namin sa buong lahat ay galing po sa iba't ibang lupalop ng mundo, kumbaga. And ang maganda dito, even if we're currently in a GCQ bubble currently, medyo bumabalik tayo sa lockdown. There's something to look forward to. And I think what partner Cheryl mentioned earlier, what can we look forward to this year? We'll be sharing some trends from markets, businesses in different countries who have already passed the second, third wave and are currently now at the end of the tunnel, almost at the end of the tunnel, where you see consumer and diner demand come back. So I think similar to what Coach Romel mentioned, it's important that during the toughest and darkest times, we go back to basics. We start getting ourselves ready so that when the market opens and rebounds, nandun po tayo. Kaagapay ng ating mga guests and diners. So looking forward to 2021, after this second wave, after mass vaccination happened, the biggest change in food service will be the change in our diners, in our guests. Yung mga diners po natin, sila po yung magbabago ng mga ine-expect po sa atin ng mga operators. So I'll be talking about, and the team will be talking about 3 big trends, which is first, local love. Second, it's pleasure-starved guests and diners. And lastly, it's all about holistic health and plant power. So dun muna tayo sa local love. Ano ba itong local love? So it sounds very familiar, yet something deep. So it talks about, number one, what will our diners order in our restaurants? How will they order? And last, why will they order such dish or why would they buy such product? So given na naka-lockdown po tayo, we're stuck at home, hindi tayo makagalaw masyado, our mobility is now constrained in a bubble. we're now seeing consumers and even diners try to expand and explore and experiment with brands that are well within their vicinity. So they will now choose brands that are easily accessible. So for example, kung nakatira po tayo sa condominium, diba? At yung condominium po natin ay may parang commercial center. Brands in that commercial center, food brands in that commercial center, definitely will start to cater to residential units within that condominium area or even adjacent buildings. So I think the call to action to operators, if you have the capacity and scale to really go deep into communities, definitely it's a big plus for all of us. And then the second is, how will they buy? Most of us, di ba, especially mga millennials tulad namin na Chef Ken, no? Chef B, and si Gen Z, si Coach Romel at si Partner Chef.
TikTok, gano'n.
Gen Z. Kaya biniro ako kanina ni Partner Chef na 12 years old po ako nag-start. Years old po ako nag-start. So, di ba, pagkatapos ng trabaho, ano mang unang gagawin natin, di ba? Hindi tayo kikis sa significant other natin. Minsan automatic sa cellphone po tayo. So I think most of our consumers and guests go to their mobile phones, laptops, devices, and really search for these types of brands. And if your brands are within their locality, easily accessible, definitely mapipili po tayo. So for example, sa mga villages po ngayon, uso po ngayon yung mga Viber groups, di ba, Sir Romel? Mga Viber groups kunyari ng community, so-and-so village, may mga Viber groups yan. And they bring local brands into that ecosystem. So minsan yung kapitbahay mo, nagtayo na pala ng food online business, nagdadala ng mga fresh seafood, fresh crabs. For example, ang mga uso ngayon, yung mga caviar cake, di ba? So all of those things are now easier accessible. So the closer you are to communities, the more accessible you are. And if you can unlock how they purchase your brands, that's a key thing. And then lastly, why will they buy local? I think nowadays important that we're stuck through either because mobility constraint po tayo, but we can travel to other countries. Kumbaga tama yung sinabi ni Sir Romel, sino pa ba yung magtutulungan kundi tayo? So it's a call to action for all Filipinos to really buy Filipino, source Filipino, and even to make the agriculture sector that supplies our raw ingredients flourish and even come out stronger from this pandemic. So those are the three things that I wanted to share about local love. And Sir Mel and Partner Shell and even the chefs that we have in our team will share their experience. Paano ba ginagawa ng mga food service operators yung local love as a trend and how do they execute it? Siguro Chef Ken, yung tingin mo dyan?
Thanks, Beach. Yeah, ako naman di ba dati merong law of supply and demand. I think for this year, well, after the when the pandemic started, dapat tayo ngayon, law of support and demand naman. Instead of just supplying necessities, it's more common and important now to adapt, to what the market is asking. And the ask is simply that products be more accessible to everyone to purchase. It's about local support, local entrepreneurs, they never stop looking for opportunities to help bring products, and services to all of us. In fact, yung mga local chains, like Rico's, for example, Lechon, ngayon makikita mo na sa supermarkets. Dati kung kailangan mo pumunta sa restaurant nila just to buy. Manam, Max's Group also has convenience products nowadays in the supermarkets everywhere, There's also an increase in home-based and food entrepreneurs, offering traditional heirloom recipes. Sometimes yung mga sinaunang recipe ngayon lumalabas na di ba? Which is actually exciting. The good thing also, there are also local groups, that are consolidating the best of the best products within their towns or provinces, and making them available through distribution or resellers. So I guess bayanihan became a means for everyone to thrive. So nagtutulungan sila. One good example, in Pampanga, for example, yung Culinary Pampanga group before, they brought in different yung mga local specialties dinala sa Manila so everyone can try it. I guess because of the uncertainty of the pandemic, consumers now learn to purchase smart and made sure to plan long. So purchase smart, plan long. meaning pantry stocking on ingredients and food products that have a longer shelf life. Okay, that's where a lot of businesses now are focusing yung mga basic food and beverage production, di ba? Diyan na yung siomai, may tapa na bibili mo anytime, longganisa. So, I could store it and eventually have food anytime, So, in the end, I think the food industry is changing its course on how food reaches our tables. But we also have a responsibility to make sure that we do our part to support those businesses that's doing it for us. And so everyone continues to thrive in this new situation, di ba? So, yun na yung share ko ngayon about it sa local love.
Yeah. So sa akin naman, it's really focusing naman apart from, local love. Syempre, when we talk about food, local love, we love local flavors. So doon po pasok yung ating mga, sabi nga ni Chef Ken, di ba? Now heirloom recipes are coming to fore, they're becoming popular again. And a lot of Filipino flavors are making waves abroad, in the West. So those atin, very popular na yung mga ube, taro, and all of this. In the West, nagiging popular na rin siya. And here, when it comes to local flavors, we also see a lot, especially on Instagram, a lot of our friends who are now in the online food business highlighting local flavors. So one particular is our very dear friend, Chef Sunny Mariano. He's a very renowned pastry chef. And with all his creations, especially mga donuts niya and the cakes, highlighted dun yung mga local flavors. So it gives you pride that, we have local flavors, but yet, it can perform in the world stage. And it's going to be very welcoming, and a lot of people will like it and love it eventually. So also in Unilever last year, since we love Filipino food so much, we did a campaign. We called it we cook as one. Okay, this is our way of helping revive the food service industry. And big part of that we cook as one is highlighting heirloom recipes. Okay, from balbakwa to kadsi to chicken inasal to everything that we love, that we grew up enjoying in our provinces, in the countryside. We highlighted those, and all of those recipes now are in the website. So if ever you plan to recreate that, feel free to check out our website. Nandun po yun. So again, when you say local love, local flavors, local cuisine, that truly hits the spot, and it just gives you joy in the midst of all this craziness, di ba? So yun ang aking masishare naman pagdating dyan sa local love. So
ang maganda dun sa sinabi nila, yung mga sinabi nila is, I think, yung keywords being accessibility. It's the definition that, that is, physical accessibility. But right now, tama yung sinabi, it's a lot of creative ways to bring the flavors closer to our people, di ba? Tama, If the people cannot travel, then sabi nga ng mga Amerikano nating kaibigan, bring the river to the horse. Actually, mga American Indian ang nagsabi niyan. Bring the river to the horse. And nakaka-excite yung mga creative ways or innovative ways on paano ginawa ng Pilipino yan nung nakaraang taon. Kasi ako pinag-uusapan yung recap, ayokong tingnan yung mga negatibo eh. Yan yung mga tinitingnan ko. Sa Amerika, actually, may isang writer, natutuwa ako actually sa Nation's Restaurant News nila nilagay yung article na yun. Ang tawag nila sa 2020 is the mother of invention. Sa restaurant industry, the mother of invention. Ang galing, di ba? It's a very optimistic way of putting it, that a lot of things, positive things happen. Dahil nalagay tayo sa sitwasyon na kailangan mo maging creative ulit, di ba? Ang tingin mo, Share?
Yes. Ano siya out of necessity eh. Kinailangan, ginawa ng paraan.
Yes, para hindi matigil yung yung pangangailangan natin, at not just physiological, but more on the sabi nga nila yung pagkain, it brings comfort, joy, hindi lang hindi lang pantawid gutom, di ba?
Oo, yung community aspect is very important. Yeah.
Nice. Tuloy natin yung inyong sagot. Second aspect.
Yan, so local love. So yung second naman, ito actually nagtalo pa kami ni Richard. Si Richard, by the way, shout out sa aming kaibigan si Richard. Hindi niyo na
thank you, Richard.
Nakatago siya. Kasi ang dapat na susulat namin dito is, Richard, yung sasabihin natin dito. Kasi yung connotation pag pleasure starred, it's very, we call it biological. It's very hedonistic yung dating, But it's a real trend, So imagine all of us, being stuck at home, limited yung ating freedom. We can't, every day seems the same, di ba? Parang dati kasi nung 2019 and earlier, di ba, you'd break down your year into travel milestones or eating out milestones or event milestones or shopping milestones, di ba? Ngayon, nung 2020, parang Monday, parang Tuesday, Thursday, parang Sunday.
Groundhog Day, parang Groundhog Day.
Parang paulit-ulit, di ba? Especially sa mga kaibigan natin na ka-work from home, talagang bubukas ka laptop, mag-meeting ka, mag-telesales ka kung ahente tayo, di ba? So nakakabagot talaga and personally, ako naman, talagang to the point that you'd really be fearful of your own mental well-being. Now, it's important to set this context because as we go through the pandemic and when things get better, looking forward to when we get out of this eventually, our guests, our diners, our consumers will really be, out there to really go for it, spend and really, have this urge to really spend for today and not think about saving for tomorrow. So there are two types of, guests or diners or consumers. Those who have the ability to spend, and these are characterized by people who will be looking at indulgent ways to use their money, be it experiencing indulgent flavors, dishes. They will be looking for highly sensorial experiences, be it shopping spree or going to travel again. They will be looking for unlimited luxuries and they will be very impulsive. So ito yung mga people who will have the ability to spend. On the flip side, there will be another set of consumers and guests and diners who aspire to have that ability to spend. So these are people who will look for those same types of indulgent experiences, but more pragmatic. They will be looking for value for money. They will be looking for simple, comfort, nostalgic experiences, be it in their dishes or in their overall dining experience. They will be looking for also unlimited, but unlimited basics, for example, unlimited rice, unlimited drinks, etc. And they will have, planned and practical spending patterns. So those are the things that will happen in terms of our consumers, our guests landscape. So we have to prepare. And we were very excited to see this happening already in some of our operators in terms of the construct of their dishes, kung paano nila pine-prepare, pine-present online yung mga creations nila. And Chef Ken and Chef Brando will have some good examples of how we can cater to this pleasure-starved market.
And sige, I'll share. I think one thing that this pandemic has taught us is we focus on sustainability, and it has made us, quarantine chefs, quarantine bakers, quarantine farmers, anything, anything quarantine. We become that, and eventually it led to local business opportunities. So dining at home and wellness cuisine, yun yung mga trends ngayon. So I think this year many restaurants across the globe actually pivoted right away to expand into takeout and delivery. That trend will not be going anywhere anytime soon. Okay, restaurant-style meals packaged for the family will be trending in the years to come. Like Chains Restaurant actually started it already. Yung mga in Jollibee may menu lineup na sila na may family pan meals, di ba? So pang pamilya. Now through the power of messaging, selling local delicacies, restaurant favorites, and ghost kitchen concepts is easy now. Because it continuously grows, no? So meaning now we can order fancy and homemade dishes anytime. Tawag ka lang, di ba? Accessible yan. Hotel and high-end restaurants have repackaged their menus so you can splurge on dining luxuries and enjoying the experience at home. One example is Marriott Hotel selling yung dim sum package nila of their famous Chinese outlet. So may self-heating box siya, di ba? So pagdating mo hindi mo problemahin, hilahin mo lang yung tab, i-heat up niyan. We also see a rise in healthy plant-based dishes, be it vegan or vegetarian. I think, me personally, I think Indian cuisine, okay, because of if its Ayurvedic properties is becoming more popular. People spend on what's healthy, Okay, like beverages, mga fermented teas like kombucha, di ba? And shakes, protein shakes, to name a few. Doon naman sa special occasion dining and parties, okay, nothing stops Filipinos from celebrating. That's our culture. Every day is a celebration, di ba? So, restaurants and hotels started opening outdoor garden dining and other exciting options. Dati, merong dinner in the sky. Naalala niyo ba yun? 3-4 years ago. Dinner in the
nandun
sky.
pa eh. Isa ka dun sa kusinero dun eh.
Pero ngayon, wala na. Ang uso ngayon, yung dining in the bubble, di ba? Yung nasa may personal space ka.
Parang igloo.
Parang igloo. So I think the saying, if you can't go to the restaurant, okay, we bring the restaurant to you. Ganun ang style ngayon. So it's become a common direction for restaurants to create a dining experience in your own home. More affordable catering packages or options, like hire a chef, for example. Mas mura na ngayon. Dati ang mahal. Ngayon, dami na nila eh. Okay, so even a good example would be a high-end steakhouse. I know of one. They would bring a food truck fitted with a professional kitchen. Paparada lang yan sa labas mo. Lulutuin nila yung steak mo to your doneness. They'll serve it right away to your table. Sa bahay ka lang. You don't have to worry about anything. Ano ba? Drinking establishments. Ito, maraming kumakamot ulo. Paano tayo mag-party noon? Wala na. Okay? So, a lot of establishments are actually created party cocktail kits, diba? That you can enjoy. And this is most popular in condo living, the urban condo living. So, mga party packages, mga mixers, etc. And me personally, I think that would pick up this 2021 would be culinary tourism. Okay. As we ease up, okay, weekend getaways will be an excuse just to drive away from the metro. Okay, it will become a trend, and more people will most likely travel to nearby provinces, kasi mas fresh, mas safe, people, you just want to get out of it all, di ba? Parang kahit isang araw lang. So eventually, the business will open, people would like to try mga regional and provincial fare. So it's a very big opportunity for everyone now. So tuloy-tuloy lang yan. So yan, looking bright.
Masishare ko naman dyan, mga ating mga viewers, pagdating sa pleasure starve, sabi nga ni Boss BJ, talagang for the past year, we were at least, a little bit hindered from spending. So doon din pumapasok yung somehow pumasok yung feeling na starved ka din dun sa parang comfort food, di ba? Na parang when you eat it, it gives you comfort. So the trend this year that we're seeing and it'll prolong for the next couple of months is going back to the comfort food. And we see a lot of online businesses now, sabi ko nga before that, though some of the restaurants have streamlined their menus, we see these online businesses on Instagram and on Facebook. Sila yung sumalo nung pagka-streamline. Sila naman yung nagpalaki ng options natin, di ba? So, and I've checked a lot of these IG posts and these business owners, they're not apologetic sa mga pricing nila. I know of an IG she sells her cream puff for like 450 pesos a piece. And isipin nyo yung cost nun, mura lang yun. Pero yet, it sells, nauubos siya. So, comfort food is going to be a trend. Nandiyan din yung mga ating mga uso pa rin, yung mga salted egg buns, mga salted egg croissants, all of these very indulging foods. And before, a couple of years back, yung mga smoked meats, di ba? Dati makikita lang natin sa restaurants yan. We either go to Poblacion or to a mall that sells smoked meats. But now, the online business, mga food businesses, meron na nagbibenta niyan. You can easily just order your smoked meats for your consumption. And so yun, we're seeing this trend now. And actually, Chef Ken, magaling mag-smoke na meats yan. Natikman na namin yung mga smoked barbecue niyan. So, baka magbenta na yan soon. Abangan nyo.
Bakit hindi, di ba?
Pwede.
Well, anyways, ako, from the perspective ng isang resto negosyante, yan talaga yung inaasahan namin. That, tama yung sinabi, hindi mo naman pwedeng pigilan yan forever. Na nasasabik, with each day that goes, na tayo ay nakakulong at hindi nakakapag-travel, hindi nakakapag-dine out. And more importantly, is the social aspect of it. Di ba? Kaya nga itong pangalawang wave na sinasabi, ano yan dala rin ng kasabikan natin sa isa't isa. Kasi nagpigil tayo noong December di ba? And to a certain degree, nagpigil pa rin tayo ng Valentine's. Di ba? Pero hindi pa rin ganoon ka But para siyang hindi mo pwedeng takpan talaga forever. So, sisingaw. And as it builds up, tama yung sinabi ni Boss BJ kanina, we need to prepare. Para naman tayo, mabigyan natin ng karampatan o yung proportionate reward, no? Yung katapat ng kanilang pagiging starved, yung talagang preparasyon naman natin sa industriya to come up with exciting things na, kasi iba na expectation nila Iba na, nag-iba na expectation nila. Ang dami nilang natutunan during the pandemic. Marami nga nagluto na, marami nag-bake, no, marami na siyempre nagso-social media, nanonood ng videos, no, and mas complicated, mas sophisticated na sila with regards to, so expect natin mas mataas ang expectation sa quality, sa flavors, no, sa execution. And ako, number one, para sa akin, purist ako sa industriya ng casual dining at saka ng, sa amin nga, yung segment namin, which is fun casual, no? Service and hospitality. Because ang kakailanganin talaga ng tao is not just products and, food, but more of the warmth and friendliness na na-miss nila nung nakakulong sila. Diba?
Yeah, to your point, Coach, I think it's also important to say yung sa prepare, na sa points nilang tatlo, it's more of, it's important also to have branding. Lalo ngayon. Kasi di ba parang everybody's out there doing their own thing. But if a brand doesn't introduce themselves to you, pas nakita mo siya online, sino yung pipiliin mo? Sino yung kilala mo na, or you have good experiences with? Yeah, and on a lighter note, when Chef Brando was talking about yung indulgences ng mga food trends, alam ko na rin, mapapredict ko na rin ang trends ng pharmaceutical medicines na kakailanganin after that indulgence.
Maintenance na.
Nasa industriya na yan si Cher ngayon sa Malaysia, Boss BJ. So, talagang siya, in the know siya sa mga vaccination and all the other things related to So, bago tayo baka magalit sa atin, ma-starve yung ating mga lingguhang pagbati, no? Bago tayo tuloy sa pangatlong tanong. Siyempre, unahin natin yung taga UFS, si Peachy, no? Magandang gabi sa iyo, kaibigan, no? And you made this episode happen also, and all the other collaborations with Unilever. Maraming salamat sa iyo, partner Peachy. And galing po sa UK, no? Natutuwa ako para sa inyo. Victor Mempin, at medyo umiigi na ang inyong kalagayan. Sila po yung medyo remarkable yung kanilang results compared to the rest of Europe, no? Sila ng US at saka UK ngayon ng magandang balita. Just Distrito, no? Yan po yung sinasabi natin ng mga nagnegosyo at nagtagumpay sa negosyo nung panahon ng pandemya. Maria Lencia, good evening, shout out. Ayan, siyempre, shout out natin. Maria Lencia, linggo-linggo rin yan, no? Si Paring Joven Gose sa pagpapahiram sa atin kay Cher, no? Kailangan, wag magalit si Paring Joven.
Excited na rin magbukas ng mga restaurant niya kasi para makakanta na siya. Singer kasi.
Nasa entertainment industry naman siya. So, of course, Let's Meet, no? Si Dan Ichon Tanchoco. Yan, si Let's Meet. Isa rin sa mga nagnegosyo nung pandemya at ngayon, nasa mga groceries na sila. Congratulations, brother. Jelly Ronquillo. Of course, si Miss Lorraine Cartoneros. Mami Sin Pineda, syempre. Sabi nga ni Tito Pepe Pimentel, no? Makalimutan mo na lahat, huwag mo nang kalimutan yung biyenan, no? Magandang gabi po, Mami Sin. Old school ako no? Dayan, of course, ito kamag-anak to, no? Ni Boss BJ siguro. Dayan Tan Carion. Yan. Redwin Rodil. Yan. Michael Pe, ayan po, magiging guest natin next week, yung barkadahan nila, no? Sila Michael Pe ng OFE. Overseas Filipino Entrepreneurs. Ang ganda nung nung kanilang pangalan, no. Next week po 'yan, kasama natin sila. Dorothy Tan, Helen Kuang, Charlene Sarmiento, magandang gabi sa iyo. Of course, from Laguna, in Cavite area, si Erwin Lancero, every week talaga nanonood diyan. No, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Ang dami po nila ngayon, maraming hatak si Mayor Brando talaga, no. Georgie Uy Barreta, Harvey Magnaya, magandang gabi sa iyo, brother. At sa lahat po ng nanonood, mamaya po natin kayo isa-isahin. Of course, si Broms na Agas, No, parating sumusubaybay din yan. Siyempre si Chef Pao, nandito nanonood. No? Daya to, hindi sumali ngayong gabi. So gagawa ako ng episode na kayo naman ni Chef Pipo yung sasali dito. Ha?
Tama.
Nami-miss ko na kayo eh. Nami-miss ko na kayo. PJ Veloso, magandang gabi. Sige po, question na, yung tuloy po natin yung pangatlong point ng ating sagot sa question number 2.
Thank you, Coach. So, yung third trend po natin, yung sinasabi natin, plant power. Now, underlying dito, kung bakit tayo nahihilig sa mga plant-based is, I think, yung holistic health. So, nung nag-research po yung Unilever, may tatlo pong aspeto yung well-being o yung kapanatagan ng loob natin. No? So, first is yung body, making sure that our biological needs are met and are fueled by nutrition. The second aspect is, our mind, our mindfulness. And then the last one, yung pinaka, I think, yung highest level of well-being is yung spirituality. So tayo po sa industriya, sa food service family, saan po tayo nakaka-add ng value? Doon po tayo sa nutrition, yung pinaka-basic, di ba? Even before we think of, nourishing our mind and spirit, we have to make sure that the needs of the body is met. And if there's one thing that has, made us realize the importance of health, is really, the COVID pandemic. So last year, ano ba yung natutunan ng mga guests and yung mga consumers natin? Very important na alagaan ang ating mga sarili. So siguro, kung mapapansin nyo, ano yung mga key changes na ginawa natin. So personally po ako, dati po, hindi po talaga ako mahilig kumain ng gulay. Pero ngayon, puro gulay ito po kinakain ko. And then I started to, exercise more. And then, I think I tried to meditate more. And it's funny, when you look at yung mga top searches po natin sa mga e-commerce platform natin, be it Lazada, Shopee, or even sa Google, mapapansin po natin na yung mga top searches po ngayon, dati, in terms of food items, could be snacks, could be chocolates, could be ice cream, very indulgent food. But now it's really more of tea, chamomile tea, green tea. So nag-isip po kami, bakit kaya naghahanap ng mga tea mga tao ngayon? Very coffee drinkers po yung mga Filipinos, right? So what we found out is, given the pandemic impact to our well-being, tea promotes good sleep. So kaya pala, yung mga tao ngayon, yung mga Filipinos, are now shifting to more tea-based beverages. Hindi po counted dyan yung milk tea. hindi ganun healthy, but you can argue that...
Dami asukal eh.
Oo, dami asukal. So I think yun po, dun po tayo makakatulong. Be it in our operations, if there's a way we can do a dish line that talks about or promotes more veggies, helps promote more anti-inflammatory nutritional benefits, sleep, more sleep, acumen in terms of the nutrition. I think those things really help. Our bodies need it. Our nutrition is important in terms of the dishes that we prepare. And, it makes sure that our total offer for our guests and diners is really in terms of going towards that holistic health. So we've tried to really have recipes that are really talking about more plant-based ingredients. And, sa mga examples ni Chef B at ni Chef Ken, there are a lot of food online brands and, Ghost Kitchen that are really moving into plant-based. So I think Chef Ken has more examples to share. Ito yung favorite ni Chef Ken eh. Aside from smoking meats, it's also about finding alternatives, healthy alternatives to nutrition.
Well, thanks, Vij. I think the term flexitarian that will be common in our lifestyle now. No?
Tama.
Tipong one day ayoko kumain ng karne. I just want to eat vegetables. Pero ayoko naman ng vegetarian, no? Hindi ayoko maging vegetarian. Gusto ko, just a nice bit of meat-tasting vegetable, parang ganyan eh, di ba? So, transition foods, processing plants to a much more acceptable form in our society, di ba? Creating burger patties, for instance, or chicken meat out of soy, di ba? noodles made from seaweeds or agar, ano ba, mga milk made out of nuts, that will be an thing, no? Bread, in fact, bread ang sarap, made of coconut. Yung coconut flour, it's actually really good. Yung mga pang-keto friendly food, no? So those are some of the examples. Herbs, turmeric, that will be turmeric, koji, ginger, vitamin-rich exotic fruits, and saffron. Okay, that will be the in thing now because of its immune boosting capabilities, no? And at saka yung mga sabi nga ni BJ, tea, no? That will be really part of our beverage selection nowadays, no? Ano ba? Fermentation. Okay, that will be also in. Okay, ito yung mga superfoods, like kimchi, di ba? Kimchi will be, it's very healthy actually, may probiotics yan. It's very, it's a superfood talaga. So kung kumain ka ng kimchi araw-araw, you'll be okay. Kahit ano pang problema mo, kayang salbahin yan ni kimchi. Okay, ano pa ba? Kombucha. I started doing kombucha before, and I don't drink tea, pero yung kombucha, naiinom ko siya. I like tea, pero hindi siya yung mas coffee nga. Mas coffee ako. Pero once you create kombucha, it becomes a different thing, and I've felt a lot of good powers, because of kombucha. Lumakas ako, bumaba yung blood sugar ko. It's true, hindi ako naniniwala noong una, pero totoo yan. So it's very important na we look into these things, no? Most of the big restaurants ngayon, in the chains operation, they're already starting to expand their menus with this in mind. Who'd have known, diba? 1 year ago, na-accelerate lahat ito, and we're just doing it now, So again, plant in our food, in our diet, will be again big this year, and continuously it will just grow, and hopefully it will lessen yung yung kinakain nating meat, and we could grow plants more sustainably and farm them properly, so mabawasan yung konsumo ng karne sa katawan natin, diba? So that's what I could share about this.
Yan. Sa akin naman, yung point of view ko just of plant power now, we've been in talks with hospitals in the Visayas, in particular in Cebu. The food and nutrition departments, most of them, they're seeking help from UFS on how to maximize or make their dishes more interesting for the patients. Lalo na ngayon kasi nga, 'di ba? Medyo puno sila, at the same time yung mga patients nila ron parang nagsasawa na rin. And since plant power is very, very popular now, we would like to highlight so that yung pasyente naman hindi lang puro chapso yung kinakain nila, 'di ba? Or pinakbet or so we in UFS we're reaching out, we're partnering with them and telling them that plant power or vegetables can be interesting because it's going to be part of your well-being as well and part of your healing process. So we're engaging with the different hospitals in Cebu particularly. We're working on that as UFS, so we're partnering, we're collaborating. We're even telling them that Nor liquid seasoning is good. It's a good seasoning for vegetarians, okay? Since it's plant-based. So yun, this is what we're doing now, and hopefully if ever you're an operator, you wish to explore opportunities maximizing plants in your menu, we're here to help. We're here to partner with you and collaborate with you, pick our brains, and eventually you get to offer more interesting plant-based dishes in your menus. So yeah, so it's going to be a very good trend for these coming years, and yeah, for a healthier Filipino.
No, agree. Sa amin, I mean, even for such an indulgent concept as buffalo wings and things, believe it or not, no, pinag-uusapan din namin yung not just, hindi yung plant-based lang na protein, but more on the flavors and how the flavors and spices can also contribute to this whole, diba, well-being movement. Napakahalaga no? May sinabi kanina that actually yung mas malalim na aspeto niyan din sa supply chain. When you get exposed to it, you will realize that plant power is also relevant or connected to environment. Yung impact sa environment ng pagpuproduce ng karne at dairy in particular, at saka meat. So I think yun yung na-accelerate din ngayong pandemya, yung amin, like sa more emphasis on flavors, not just the meat itself, but more on the flavors and how the flavors actually make the food more exciting. 'Di ba? Hindi naman yung focus kung anong klaseng karne lang yung ginamit mo, but more of that. No? So I totally agree, no, na yung plants will have more relevance, not just in terms of yung fulfilling, sabi nga kanina, napakaganda nung sinabi, no? Mental, physical, and spiritual aspect of the food industry, no? And how it helps you become a better person, no? Yun nga, yung importansya ng tulog, no? Importansya ng pagtanggal ng anxiety kasi na-pronounce yung na-pronounce yung cost of being unhealthy sa panahon na to, no? Kaya nga 'di ba sabi sa Amerika, ang isa sa mga lumalaking mga stocks na mga companies are those that are selling fitness equipments. Naubos ang mga bikes, naubos ang mga iba magtatayo na ng pabrika ng drinks dito sa Pilipinas because of the growing market for bicycles. 'Di ba? And that's good news, 'di ba? Na bumabalik tayo rin sa wellness in general.
Agree. Tama.
Share?
Ayan. So ang ating with all of those things, how can you support food businesses naman when knowing all of these trends?
And so I think just putting the trends together and paano natin, i-actualize sa operations natin yung mga trends like local love, pleasure starved, and holistic health. Now, I think how we can change, pivot, reboot our operations of food service. May three things, or may three suggestions din kami sa food solutions. Number one is make sure that health, wellness, and yung authentic care for our guests is at the heart of our operations. So meaning, we provide them with delicious, indulgent dishes, but make sure that when they enjoy it, how they enjoy it, where they enjoy it, be it through delivery, takeaway, or even in dine-in when it's allowed, we promote an environment of hygienic sanitation and making them feel that when they visit our outlets, when they order our brands, when they enjoy our dishes, safety is always going to be top of mind. And I think, a tip or advice that we've gathered from successful brands across the markets in UFS Global is if you can amplify and create credibility around your sanitation and hygiene protocols, because that's always top of mind when your guests consider your brand, makakatulong po yun. So kunyari, marami po sa atin, I think nagpipivot na in terms of not just promoting our dishes in your social media platforms, but also how you train your staff, also how you pack your takeaway, also how you ensure that your outlets are safe. I think that's one important upgrade that we should continuously embed in our operations. The second point, I think everybody has said this throughout 2020, but we cannot ignore the need to digitally accelerate our operations. So it's not just about building your brands through word of mouth, although that's the most powerful way. But if you can be present across more touch points, digital touch points, and integrated with your offline, meaning your brick and mortar stores, be consistent in your branding, be very focused in terms of what dishes you want to promote. And we've also I've seen coach and partner talk about having that singular focus to drive high margin dishes. Make sure that it's cuts across all your social platforms and make sure you drive reach and penetration to your target audiences. And lastly, it's all about making sure that we reach and we are very close to our guests and diners. So if we have the scale to really be present in terms of location, or be present in terms of platforms where they are in, use Viber, establish a community, build your brands through where they are residing. That would really help. We talked about local love. It's all about making sure that you are top of mind in what they purchase, how they purchase, and why they should promote or even be loyal to your brand. So those are the three things that we can do in terms of pivoting our operations. And we've seen that if you drive these three focus areas, definitely you will be successful, pandemic or no pandemic. So those are the three things. And perhaps Chef Ken and Chef B, you can just add to the points that we've shared.
Yeah, just to add quickly, I think, end of the day, you really have to stand out in social media. Keep on posting anything positive about, like reviews, restaurant ideas, etc. Create a means to connect with your customers by interacting and sharing their posts. Nowadays, everyone takes photos, in smartphones natin. That's a tool already every day. Ginagamit yan just for taking pictures besides calling someone. So everything should be Instagrammable, use that opportunity, to create awareness digitally, again, through social media. So I guess the key takeaway here is to understand really how we can adapt to the fast changing times. Now things are done differently now, compared to 10 years ago. And the only way really to survive and thrive is that they create relevance, by using the social media as their platform, Instagram and messaging apps, it's all there, so use it. Yeah.
On my part naman, it's really if you're a little more clueless or on how to do all of this, just reach out, engage. Feel free to reach out to us, ufs.com. I will be gladly to partner with you and help you with all the things that you plan to do with your business. Keeping this in mind, yung wellness, yung digital acceleration, and partnering locally. There's a treasure trove of information in our website. There's a very capable team of UFS Philippines that will be able to help you in whatever way, so that it's going to be a very, very promising 2021 for everyone. So engage, reach out. We're here to help. Choose a partner that will fully support you in whatever business, food service endeavor you would plan to do. So that's what we can do for you as UFS Philippines.
So maraming salamat sa mga bisita natin tonight. Ang dami pong insights na dapat naisulat nyo sa inyong mga notebooks at sa inyong telepono, kung sa telepono kayo nagno-notes. Sabi nga ni Ms. Marinor de Guzman, I'm interested in plant power as most of our customers are also gearing towards healthy foods. We are in simple comfort food that caters to our small community here in May Kawayan, Bulacan. Magandang gabi po sa mga taga May Kawayan, Bulacan at si Jackie Ang po, kanina pa kayo binabati. Magandang gabi po. Dorothy Tan also, maraming salamat po sa inyo. Sana po mawili rin kayo sa panonood every week. Ang daming mga fans ng ating bisita, share.
I know.
Ito naman po si Jester Leander mula sa Baler, Aurora. Ang dami ng kumonti ang turista sa Baler. Jester Leander, ang dami pong learning. Swerte natin kasi for free. Maraming salamat sa ating mga bisita. Of course, sila yung nagsishare ng mga ating mga insights and information for free. So share ang ating top 3 takeaway mula sa napakarami mong sinulat sa iyong notebook.
Alam ko na, nga Kaya I try to distill it. But what I really liked about the whole episode is it's more of because we're given a pause. Diba? Let's think of it as a pause. It's not a negative thing. It could be a positive thing where we can reflect on healthy and informed perspective, where we can over-prepare. It's better to over-prepare because lahat na natutunan natin today will keep us pandemic-proof. Diba? Knowing all of this, the first point is yung going back to basics, is the need to prepare. Local love is about accessibility. Pleasure starve is about quenching the body's thirst in tears, di ba? Kung anong kaya ng bulsa, kumbaga. But nag-stick din sa akin yung culinary tourism. I think that's really how it's gonna be because everybody wants to go to Flavor Town. So, and the third point is yung plant power. More than ever, lalo nating nare-realize that health is wealth and sustainability is key. And sa mga tito at tita diets there, in tayo uli ngayon sa plant power. So, let's go, power. And it all boils down to, again, we go back to basics, the value of the healthy body, mind, and spirit.
Galing. Sabi nga natin dito sa Resto Coach, di ba? Inspiring the hearts, empowering the mind, and equipping the hands. So bago natin pakawalan at pasalamatan at pakawalan yung ating bisita, gusto ko makita rin nila yung ating Resto Quote for the week. Linggo-linggo po, meron tayong mga quote na binabanggit. At ngayong linggo po, inanakawin ko yung sa BWNT na pinost natin sa social media recently. Sabi dyan, yan, nakikita nyo ba? Parang hindi ko alam kung nakikita o hindi.
Yan, kita.
Ayan. Sabi dyan, no? Sabi dyan, we have been through. Kasi usong-usong ngayon yung salitang we're back to square one, no? Sabi ng Buffalo Wings and Things, no? We have been through this before and together, we overcame the difficulties and challenges. We are not back to square one, sabi dyan. We faced a year of the pandemic together and this has made us stronger, smarter, better, and more connected to each other. No? Lahat tayo malakas. No? Individual and collective accountability, sabi nga natin. Together, we will emerge from these new challenges with our wings up. No? Wings up, ready tayong lumipad ulit. No? Ready tayong tumulong sa isa't isa. So ito po ay message ng Presidente, no? Ako din po yun. Sa lahat po ng sa lahat po ng mga customer natin, mga frontliners, mga bata natin na nagbibisikleta mula Tondo hanggang Mega Mall para lang makapagtrabaho. Maraming salamat. Saludo ko sa inyo sa mga taga Tugigaraw na kahit anong queue ang dumating sa Tugigaraw, number one selling store of Buffalo Wings and Things. No? Ang galing. No, nakakatuwa po. Maraming salamat sa mga customers na kahit anong pandemya po, umu-order pa rin po kayo, carry out, delivery. No? Yung mga mensahe nyo po, pagtugon sa mga, kasi nagsusulat kami ng mensahe sa supot eh. No? Dahil nilalagay, together, we will emerge from this with our wings up. We love you. We are here for you. No? And those messages are appreciated by our customers. And again, binabalik po namin, we love you and we are here for you. Nagmamahalan po tayong lahat, mga Pilipino. Nandito po tayo, magkakasama po tayo, isang taon na po natin pinagdaanan to, and that is a good thing. Because ibig sabihin po, we are now better, no? We are now smarter, and we are more connected to each other. No, with that, gusto ko pong pasalamatan yung ating mga bisita, mga big time po ito. No, yung oras nito mahalaga, no? Lalo na po si Boss BJ. Etong dalawang to mahirap biruin pag rumes back pala sinasama yung boss. So Brando, next time na magkita tayo sasama ko yung boss ko. Si Edelos Reyes, ha?
Tama ba yun? Namimiss ko na yung boss mo eh.
So with that, maraming salamat po sa Unilever Food Solutions. Of course, share. Ingat kayo dyan sa Malaysia, sa mga kababayan natin dyan, sa mga nanonood mula sa Singapore, nakita ko kanina Singapore, meron sa Dubai, sa UAE, sa Qatar. Maraming salamat po. Next week is your episode, mga OFW na naging OFE, Overseas Filipino Entrepreneurs. So again, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep your wings up. Magandang gabi po, and God bless us all.
Magandang gabi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.